Nintendo's upcoming Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is due out on Friday, was leaked over 2 weeks ago.
I know. I totally missed that one too. I mean, I kind of got whispers in it, but I thought it was like some screenshots that were leaked or something.
That's what I thought as well. No,
but I didn't know the actual
cartridge
ROM was
went into circulation.
Yeah.
So full game, and Nintendo obviously is not that happy about it. Now, one thing we haven't heard of is Nintendo sending Pinkerton agents to people who bought the game online. Just saying.
Yes, I heard that.
But Nintendo is obviously not thrilled that their breadwinner was leaked over 2 weeks early in its full playable form. And people have already got it running inside emulators. They have already got it upscaling to 1080, 1440, 4K, and even beyond. They've already got a 60 FPS patch out for it.
Uncapping FPS, yeah.
There's already save game editors, and people have already fully deconstructed, not decompiled, torn apart this game based on Breath of the Wild, and it's the same game engine and very similar gameplay, very similar mechanics as far as the underlying software goes. But apparently it's been fully playable for 2 weeks. Which means Nintendo has started a whole new round of DMCA takedowns for emulators, tools, or anything of the like that they might find in any way, shape, or form to be outside of the approved use case of the Nintendo Switch. Because Nintendo believes that it is their hardware, they're just loaning it to you.
Well,
I do take a serious note here, and that leaks this early are potentially damaging. Now, there's so many different ways to look at this. We talked about the Magic the Gathering story. Steve, are you familiar with that one? With the Pinkertons going after the Magic the Gathering guy?
Yes, I did. But this guy was completely innocent. They gave it to him on accident.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yeah, he accidentally got shipped something and then had private detectives threatening him 10 years in jail time. And we're going to call the cops and get the sheriff involved and everything. Straight up intimidation tactics by Wizards of the Coast. And screw those guys.
Gestapo's at the coast.
Yes. Right. Here you have the... we're here about some magic cards.
This has got something with your Magic the Gathering cards.
So you have a way better voice than I do.
Oh, I love The Godfather.
It's so good. So we haven't heard of them sending Pinkerton agents. However, they are in full DMCA mode, which... for Nintendo, that's saying something.
Well, Nintendo wouldn't send out Pinkertons. They'd send out the Yakuza.
Don't go there.
You go emulate their game, and you come back with a ear cut off or something,
Oh crap! I drive a Nismo too. Sorry, that was terrible. Yeah, so you don't hear about that. However, Nintendo has always been aggressive, specifically towards their fans. Who has the right to stream games? And Nintendo says, that's our intellectual property that you're playing on Twitch. And, well, yeah, the assets are, but what I'm doing with them, you never intended. Because every action that I take is derivatively unique. And so... you can consider this performance at this point.
Yeah, I think it's less damaging for Nintendo because they definitely have a base that doesn't really go for emulators that much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are. I mean, I know it's out there, but there's a lot of people out there that they just want to buy the game and play it.
Right.
They don't even know the emulators exist. Half the people do. And
my copy will be here Friday.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Even people who do that, they still want a legitimate copy. So. It's different than when something like this gets leaked on PC early, because pirating is very easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's on your computer, it's on your computer. This is different. I mean, You kind of
to everyone who has always said I pirated the game to see if it was good, and if it's good I'll buy it. You know you're full of crap. Don't pull that. But
they'll buy it like maybe 10 years later when it's on sale on Steam for like $2.
For like $2. Yeah. Hey,
look at it. Look at it. Yeah.
I've done you a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This deal you kind of refuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Nintendo though, it's a little different. People want to be able to play it on the Switch, and there really hasn't been major pirating on Nintendo hardware since like the Wii.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there was a massive oversight by either Nintendo or Nvidia, or potentially both, when it comes to the original Switch, because there was a hardware level BIOS or bootloader unlock.
I do remember that, yeah.
That was done by grounding out a couple pins on one of the controller ports. And that required a hard, like, there's no software fix, there's no patching around that. That is a bootloader injector meant to, like, recover bricked consoles. And Vince says, is that NBA Jam? You better believe it's NBA Jam. Tournament edition. There you go. But Nintendo actually went through and revised consoles, used different pins, obfuscated or even eliminated those pins, even from the CPU itself, to no longer have that attack vector valid. And so if you have an OG Switch, it's unlockable, just period. Yeah. If you don't, there's really no way in. At least none that anyone has found thus far.
Right. So emulation is your only course of action at that point.
But there's always been widespread piracy. The problem is that Nintendo legitimately believes, and I will stand by this as a longtime enthusiast and as someone who's emulated games as far back as like 1994, is... Your pirates are also 99% of the time your best customers. They're the ones who pay you the money. They're the ones that will buy everything, period. Will you get all of their dollars? Maybe not. But you get more dollars from them than you get from anyone else. And leaks like this, they might cost you a couple percent in sales, but it's not like this detrimental, no one is going to buy this game.
No, this game is still going to be a hit.
I guarantee you they're shipping 2 million copies on Friday, like just flat out.
The anticipation for this game is pretty high. I doubt this is really going to be that detrimental to
They're going to ship 2 million copies at $70 a piece, and I was happy to throw down that cash.
The only time when a leak this late in the game is detrimental to a game is
when it sucks.
It's when it sucks. Yeah, and everybody starts to know it, right? When a game is leaked, it's like, oh, guys, don't get this.
Yeah. Had No Man's Sky leaked 2 weeks early.
Oh yeah. That would have been pretty bad for them.
That would have been bad, because that game is. We always say it's like the resurrection story of the decade, of like, holy crap, they took this absolutely steaming pile of crap that Sony made them take and turned a legitimate game and a genuine community and everything into it, but it took like 2 or 3 years after the release of the game.
Right.
The thing is, had No Man's Sky leaked 2 weeks early, no one would have kept their pre-order.
Yeah.
That game would have been bankrupt from the word go. Because it's a game that takes you 10 to 15 hours to realize at launch that it's a mile wide but an inch deep. I actually tried to get a refund from Steam. I had played it for 13 hours on opening weekend. I bought it came out on a Friday. I bought it on Friday. It released at like 10 p.m. or something like that. I played it from 10 until 5 in the morning. And then I went to bed, and then I got up and did my thing and whatever else, and came back to it that night and played another, so many hours. And I had 13 hours into it. I had gotten my ship fixed, and I had left the planet, and I'd visited like 2 other planets and a space station and things like that. But the thing is, by the time you hit your 3rd or 4th or 5th planet, you go, this looks a lot like
same.
the last planet. Are there supposed to be more resources? Because all I'm finding is aluminum and gold.
Yeah.
Is there supposed to be more crafting? Because nothing's unlocking. Is there supposed to be this wide race of beings and intergalactic battles, or is it just the one space station and a couple of ships that you clip through because they're not actually AI? They're being animated based on pre-done loops. They're not interactive at all. And so it's like, but you have to get to that point where you can leave the planet before you realize you kind of been scammed. Man, if this was the case with this game, this would be $1 billion in sales down the drain. However,
but
even
this
with
is
all
Zelda,
the leaks,
we're talking here.
Even with all the leaks, people are going like, "Holy crap, it's better than I thought." It's better than the trailer gives, and holy crap, that was a really good trailer.